Hello and welcome to Outnumbered on this beautiful day. My name is Ramsey, and of course I have Antonia Nwokolo this morning. Antonia.
Good morning, Ramsey.
Good morning, Antonia. Good morning, Christopher.
Good morning, Mr. Ramsey. And Holy Thursday.
Yeah, it's a Holy Thursday, of course, and the holiness is extended here, and we're spreading it out there.
With the headlines from the newspaper.
With the headlines from the newspaper. All right, let's bring you to speed with the headlines for the day as we begin with the Leadership newspaper. On page 17 of the Leadership, we have this one which says Northern States enrollment in Unity School drops. That's as a result of the kidnap. People are scared of taking their awards to Unity schools in the North. Then Dangote Elumelu orders make Tinubu's new economic team. And the details of that you can get on page 7 of the Leadership newspaper. Elumelu, Dangote, you know their strength as it has to do with entrepreneurship, as it has to do with economy. Let's see how that will help anyway. The big story from here, it's, about opposition party. Convention, NEC meeting, opposition in disarray as PDP, LP sink deeper. And I have a few riders to that story, and the first rider said, we didn't monitor Labour Party's convention. This is coming from INEC. The second rider says, Obi Oti, lawmakers absent from the meeting. I don't know why. You can find out when you pick a copy of the Leadership newspaper. And the last rider to that story says, subterranean forces controlling PDP leadership, says Suswan. Suswan, okay, the former governor of Benue State. All right. More still coming from here. Naira will continue to stabilize. This one is coming from the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You can get the details of that on page 24. A lot of people want this to happen so that the price of commodities in the market can actually drop. And that's going to be the last from the Leadership newspaper this morning as we move to the next paper.
All right, from the Vanguard newspaper this morning, I will go straight to the big story. At burial, grieving families of slain soldiers demand justice. And we have so many riders to that story. Says criminals should not be allowed to live. I leave my son's killers to God, Major Obi's mother says. My son was planning to marry before death came, says mother of Corporal Peter Hammond. I won't stop another son from joining the military, Warrant Officer Zachary retired. I think that is patriotism.
That's patriotism.
He said, even with the death of this one, if another one says he wants to
he's
go,
a warrant officer?
Retired.
Retired.
So
then his son,
yes,
is
one
also
of those
a soldier,
killed.
and he was killed.
And he
too.
said, if the next one says he wants to join army, he will still allow him to go.
That's
that
the
is
spirit.
patriotism. Tinubu urges Okoma leaders, chiefs to fish out culprits. Warns military against reprisal attack on innocent people. 2 days ago, I think we called on the president to at least a Nigerian army not to sieve out the bad eggs, not to kill the whole community because their men were attacked and killed. And then Tinubu gives scholarships, houses to deceased wards, bestows MON on diseased soldiers. It means even after death, they still got the award. Deserving
national
award.
honor.
National honor. Well, I think I prefer national honor for people who are alive. But then, notwithstanding, it's still okay.
All right, and the last rider to that big story is slain soldiers left behind pregnant widows, 21 orphans. That is unfortunate.
It's pathetic.
We pray for God's grace on their wives and their grandparents, friends, relatives, to stand with them at this hard time. And then going on politics, Edo Goba, PDP, APC, Labour Party, 13 others beat INEC deadline, nominate candidates. Calls for stoppage of ex-governors, president's pension, raised doors. It shouldn't raise any dust. Let it be. Let it be. And then the last there on page 8 is Abure, the elected Labour Party national chairman, as NLC kicks. That will be the size of the review from the Vanguard newspaper. Over to you, Antonia.
Thank you, Christopher. On this day newspaper, the first headline, Sanwo-Olu receives Dangote's rise support for vulnerable Lagos households. That's really commendable. And we have a rider to that story. It says, this is extreme kindness, compassion, says the governor, and he hails Dangote's foundation. The story continues on page 12.
Sorry, please. Dangote, we know you have Dangote refinery in Lagos. Don't forget that you have Obajana cement in Kogi. We want to also feel your impact in Kogi. We need those bags of rice.
Because you're from Kogi State.
Oh, you can say that.
He's
again.
advocating for
He's
his
advocating
people.
for his people.
And please drop it in Agbeji, very close to Ayingba.
Oh,
I will take it over from there.
Oh, wow.
At CFN, you can just drop it as
You know the
Are you from
location too? I'm sure he would hear you. The story continues on page 12 of this day newspaper. Now, the next one we have here says, Tinubu confers national honors on slain military personnel and scholarship to children. The story is on page 8. This just goes to show that the families of the slain soldiers are not neglected and left behind. And we pray that this is followed to the latter, not just the declaration, but the families actually get to reap these benefits. Though it's not going to bring back their dead loved ones, but to just ease their pain a bit. Now, the next final headline, which is the big story from this day newspaper, it says, in move to revive economy, Tinubu heads 31-man Presidential Economic Coordination Council. And then we have 3 riders to that story. Edun, Kadoso, Elumelu, Dangote, Rabiu, and Agbaje make the list. They're part of the list that Tinubu created. Then the Minister of Finance to chair 19-man Economic Emergency Task Force. The final rider to that story says, heads another 14-man Economic Management Team. And that story is on page 12 of this day newspaper. And that will be all from this day newspaper.
All right, thank you very much, Amphonia, for that beautiful headlines. Let's quickly get to the Tribune, which is going to be the last for today. All right, Labour Party convention re-elects Abure as chairman, endorses Peter Obi and Oti. I think that could be towards 2027. The details of that you can actually get on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. Then above the header, Tinubu sets up 31-man Presidential Economic Coordination Council. All right, the details of that you can get on page 3 on the Nigerian Tribune. 2027, Ganduje inaugurates 6 governors as zonal coordinators for APC. The details of that you can actually get on page 3. I have this one, which is actually the big story, Okwama killings. Tinubu awards slain military men's children scholarship. We've talked about that already. I think that's good at least. It will go a long way helping them forget this sorrow, because this is a sorrow that should last for a long time. But at least, if this is done, not just on paper, if this is done in earnest, it's going to go a long way helping the families. And to write us to that story, honors fallen heroes with national award. Families get houses. That's good. The second writer says military should avoid punishing innocents. CDS vows to hunt down and bring killers to justice. And I have this one which says a budget controversy. It's about Ningi this time. Ningi hires Falana to drag Akpabio before LPDC. It is not over until it's over. Ningi seems not to be given up, but then we've been waiting to hear him do a press conference so that some facts can actually be brought up. But then we've not had anything, but I think from all indication, he may be going to court. All right, details of that can get on page 2. And finally, nothing can cut short mandate he gave me Fubara tells supporters. And the details of that you can get on page 24 of the Nigerian Tribune. And this is going to be the size of the headlines for this morning. Let's go on a quick break. After this break, it will be time for the big story. Don't go nowhere.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleke TV. Visit our website at www.oweleketv for a thrilling journey. Oweleke TV, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome back from that break. Outnumbered still live on your screen on this beautiful Thursday morning. My name is Ramsey and it's been Antonia and Christopher right here. We said on return it's going to be time for the big story. What's the big story all about? Well, 2027 is already in view and so many things are happening already. But then a house in disarray, however, would it stand? And for any house to be solid, you need to look at how solid the foundation is. Convention, next meeting, opposition in disarray as PDP. Labour Party sink deeper. Something is wrong somewhere. The writers to that story will give you a clearer view to what this headline is talking about. We didn't monitor Labour Party's convention. This is INEC talking. And when INEC say a thing like this, then you should know that something is fishy somewhere. I think you need to dig that out yourself. Maybe when my colleagues start adding their voice to the conversation, they'll talk more about it. But then, one more striking fact is this. OB and OT lawmakers absent. All right? These are stakeholders, but they were absent. All right? I don't know, but then PDP and Labour Party made us to understand, all right, after the 2023 election that they were going to come up with a force and be a strong opposition. But then when there is a disarray, when there is no unity, when there is some kind of quarrel and they don't have one voice, how effective do you think this kind of opposition can be? Christopher?
Well, yes. PDP, Labour Party are actually in disarray. Remember about 3 weeks ago I said, I wish that Obi can put his party in order so that the opposition voice should be coming from the party, not from him as Obi. If he continues to, as I'm talking to you now, Obi may have tweeted like 2-3 times this morning. Beautiful point. But the truth of the matter is that people are beginning to fall in love with him. Take it or leave it. Obi is still a force in the next election. And I'm happy I read yesterday, and it's also out today, that Obi has been
Abure.
No, that Obi is the sole candidate, that they have reserved that position for him to contest.
Okay, that is
for
Labour
another
Party.
presidential election.
No, for Labour Party.
Okay,
For
in
Labour
2027,
Party,
right? Okay.
Nobody can contest that with Obi.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, that one is sealed already. Now, but again, he needs to do some work. Part of the work, like I said about 3 weeks ago, is that for him to try to get the structure of Labour Party intact. It is the lack of structure that is making NLC to challenge Labour Party. They are feeling that Labour Party is an addendum of Nigeria Labour Congress. Whether that is true or not, the Constitution or the lawyers will tell us. But in truth, Obi is more of an opposition than PDP and Atiku put together. Now, why is Atiku failing? Atiku is failing because even after the election, he has failed to reconcile with Wike. Take it or leave it, Wike was the reason why PDP could not win the presidential election.
Just Wike all the
Yes, because the structure.
G5.
He was the leader of the G5. Whatever he says, they listen.
including Makinde.
I say whatever he says, they listen. Who is
All right,
Makinde?
I'm just getting to hear
The
that
truth
from
of the
you.
matter, the truth of the matter is that he single-handedly sponsored everything about PDP. While Atiku lost out the what's it called, the 2019 election and went back to stay in Dubai. Wike was the one in Nigeria here doing everything to keep PDP as a political party. When the governor of Sokoto State had issue, the market got burned, he went there and donated 500 million naira. When Benio had issue, he went there and donated 500 million. The convention, he was giving money. As of prep that wants to contest, he gives money. Kogi State, I am aware of the senator from Kogi East or Central that he sponsored the primaries against Dino Melaye. And even Dino Melaye attests to the fact that he can see the hands of Wike in his defeat. You understand? So this one-man squad in political parties, I think that is why whoever brought up this point, I can say the person is true. You look at it now. INEC is even telling you that they were not present when they did the primaries. I mean the election. Obi, who is your leader, was not there. Your only governor or one of your governors, Oti was not there. So Abure should also be careful, so that I can say that Abure is being used to play the role that Patutomi played. Where is Patutomi today?
No,
Patutomi was
I hardly
Obi
hear about
from
Patutomi
one place
now.
to another, from left, right, and center, in and out of the country. But immediately after the election, we got to know that Patutomi was actually used as a spy on Obi. The same person that used him was even giving him money to sponsor the movement of Labour Party. So politics in Nigeria is deeper than what we see out there. So the opposition should come together. But if you ask me, Atiku should forget about contesting the next election.
He might surprise you and contest. He's been contesting.
Yes,
he may.
yes.
I think
he may surprise you and come up.
Yeah, he may. It's his right.
Yes.
It's his right. But I am advising now that he should forget about it and then bring a candidate. Maybe they should come in synergy, PDP and Labour Party. Let Atiku bring a sound person that is far younger than Obi, maybe in his early 40s, who is sound, intelligent, to deputize Obi, and then they can unify both the part of the north and also.
Let me pick it from the last statement you made. PDP and Labour Party coming together, okay, to form alliance against,
like a
merger against APC.
They can as well drag in SDP.
Let me ask you now. Yeah, SDP. Well, I don't know, but Kwankwaso. Well, anything is possible. It's politics.
This is Nigeria.
Okay, looking at it now, Atiku stepping down. Okay, because you were saying he may take Nigerians by surprise because he doesn't look like someone who is tired already. So as it is now, Antonia, if Labour Party and PDP is coming together, who should deputize who? All right, okay, who should deputize who? Is it the candidate from PDP that should be deputized, or the candidate from Labour Party? How do you see it? Looking at these two forces, remember PDP have had issues right from time, and they've not resolved. So, what do you think?
I feel the parties, they know the capacity of the individuals that they're putting forward to be their flag bearers. So they'll be able to pick who should. This is not a case of, whoever is coming from PDP should be the one at the forefront, and the one from Labour Party should be the deputy. They know the capacity of the people they have. They know themselves. They share common interests. They share maybe ethnicity, religious beliefs. So they know what each person is capable of doing. So it's a matter of coming to an agreement, reaching an agreement, and picking what is going to work out best for us. This is not, if they are forming a merger, that is, they are coming in as one. They are not coming in with the mind of, I am PDP joining the Labour Party. You are coming in to form a fresh party. So it should be what will move that party forward. That should be the focus, not who should be superior or who should stand tall, or it shouldn't be any of that.
All right, it shouldn't be any of that. I actually asked that question because of the statement that was made by Kwankwaso. We remember, a lot of people agitated that SDP and Labour Party should come together. But some of them were looking at Peter Obi as in, this small boy, why should I go and be his deputy? Yeah. Especially...
what is the age difference between Kwankwaso and Peter Obi?
No,
and what is their experience on the field, both in the private sector and public sector? Both of them serve 8 years as governors.
You know how people from the north, how they look at politics. and you know how they look at people from the other side. You know how they look at them when it comes to politics. So if you put Kwankwaso and Peter Obi side by side, as far as political experience is concerned, Kwankwaso would want to tell you that, well, rather, Peter Obi should be his deputy.
Kwankwaso is still within the cycle of the normal Nigerian politician.
Normal Nigerian
yes.
So are they
politician.
abnormal
Yes.
ones?
Yeah,
Are they abnormal
Obi
ones?
is abnormal because his idea.
His ideas are not the conventional political.
That is the word actually.
Absolutely.
It's not the conventional Nigerian politician.
All right, as a matter of fact, if we want to talk about this, time will really fail us to express everything that's on our mind right now as far as this array is concerned. Well, we are so concerned about PDP and Labour Party because APC actually need a strong opposition to give them a run for their money come 2027. But the way it's going, we don't know how it's going to end. But then we pray that everything ends in the favor of the people of this country, Nigerians. Thank you for adding your voice to the conversation, Christopher. Thank you, Antonia, for bringing your thoughts to the table. My name is Ramsey, and I want to say have a beautiful day ahead of you. Bye-bye for now.